Hello, my guys. Welcome to another episode of the Microwave Kicks. So it was 2 years ago in 24 hours for Chelsea with João Pedro and Jamie Gittins. So right now, the reports concerning Jamie Gittins is that the medical is done, while that for João Pedro is already in Miami and is undergoing medical as we speak. So we have other stories we're going to talk about today. Stories about the rave of the moment right now: Mohammed Kudus, João Pedro, Noni Madueke, and other Chelsea-related news. So if you are new to this channel, please hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, and so that you can always get notifications whenever I post stories like this or news like this. Okay, now let's quickly get into it as quick as possible. Now, according to Chahemota, he said João Pedro arrived in Miami on Monday to undergo medical examination. So there was a photo of João Felix I saw, which interprets of the fact that he's already in the US and is probably undergoing a medical as we speak. That should be concluded as of now, of you watching this particular video. And the plan of Chelsea is to integrate him into the squad currently right now at the Club World Cup, so that he could be able to be registered to play, at the quarter-final, play semi-final, and if Chelsea gets to the final and probably win the trophy, he will be involved in the squad. We all know what happened to Nicolas Jackson. He was suspended for a game, suspended for 2 games, and he missed the Experience game and the Benfica game. So he'll be back in the squad, for the next match against Palmeiras. So I think having him in the squad is a very good one. At least he joined the squad as early as possible. This is also like a preseason. Yes, this is a big tournament, but it's most like, being with the squad, understanding how Maresca plays, understanding how the team plays, and probably gets involved, in this tournament, which is a very big one and a very huge one for him. I think that was one of the reasons why he even joined Chelsea, because let's be honest, he have the opportunity to play in bigger competitions. He's going to play in the Champions League. He's going to compete for the Premier League title. He's going to do well in so many competitions Chelsea are actually competing for this season. So it's a very good one to have, him here. But that's not what we're going to talk about. I made a video concerning Mohammed Kudus in my previous video. Please, I broke it down. I broke down how Chelsea actually do transfers. Please do well to, check that out, so that you could understand why Chelsea are actually going for players like this and not the big names that you wish, Chelsea would sign. So let's move forward to Mohammed Kudus. So according to Fabrizio Romano, Chelsea have spoken to Mohammed Kudus' agents, but nothing in advance yet, while Tottenham are pushing very strongly for the deal. We all remember the fact that Mohammed Kudus just recently changed his agent to Roof. He was with a particular agent. He just changed his agent. And when the player actually changed an agent, it actually means the player is probably ready to make a move, ready to get a new contract, or ready to just do something that actually concerns his transfer or his well-being or something when it comes to club-related issues. Now, Chelsea are interested, very interested at this one, because it's been eating up for a while, but in the last 24 hours, it's been very, very concrete. Chelsea are interested. Tottenham are also interested. We all remember Tottenham just won the Europa League, so they're a team that wants to ride on that success. Also, Mohammed Kudus is playing for Westham, who does not play in Europe. So once he can actually make a move and a step further, Tottenham are going to play in the Champions League. That's a boost. Chelsea are also going to play in the Champions League and compete for trophy. That's also a boost. So that alone is an incentive for him actually wanting to make that move, to make that step forward, because he has been at West Ham and that is not his level. We understand how good Kudus is, but that is not his level. Tottenham are interested in him. Chelsea are also interested in him. Chelsea are intensifying this deal, while Tottenham also have a new coach. Let's not forget the coach, which is Thomas Frank. Tottenham are which word should I use now? They are changing from how they used to be to being a bigger team, to being a better team under Thomas Frank. We understand the good work Thomas Frank did at Brentford. Now he wants to do the same thing with Tottenham Hotspur. If Chelsea signs Kudus, this will be a fantastic deal for Chelsea. And this only opens the way for the exit of Noni Madueke. Because at this point, you cannot have Noni Madueke, You cannot have Estavo Williams, you cannot have Pedro Neto, you cannot have João Pedro, you cannot have Bao Gittins and Tyreek George. So if Chelsea eventually pulls the plug and buys in Mohammed Kudus, that only means one thing. That only interprets one thing, which is the sale of Noni Madueke is imminent at this point. In as much as I don't want Noni Madueke to go, Chelsea should always sign an upgrade to what we already have at this point. What do Chelsea have at this point? Noni Madueke, Pedro Neto, and the rest. If Chelsea signs Kudus, to me, it's an upgrade on Noni Madueke because Kudus has an end product. Kudus is versatile. Remember what I said in my yesterday's video, that Chelsea always signs players who are good and who are very versatile in their style of play, who has an eye for goal, who can play in different positions, who are not injury prone. Yes, João Pedro is a slightly injury prone player, but Mohammed Kudus gives you, it ticks so many boxes in Chelsea. I did a whole video concerning Mohammed Kudus. I'll pin it up and you will see that. Mohammed Kudus ticks a lot of boxes for Chelsea. He can play in the left wing, can play in the right wing, he can play in the center, he can play also in center forward as a first line as well. He's a very aggressive player. He's a very intelligent player. He's a player who's good with trading passes. He's a player who can carry the ball. He's a very young player as well. So this is the kind of talent we need in Chelsea. To me, this is an upgrade for Noni Madueke. And if he comes to Chelsea, I will accept this with open arms, obviously. Now, let's move forward. According to Sky Sports, that's to show you how concrete this news is. It said Chelsea are interested in Mohammed Kudus despite Pedro and Gittins' deal. So Chelsea are not like relaxing. There's one part of doing your business early, and there's another part of doing the right business. To me, these are the right business. The Gittins deal and the Kudus deal. If like, yes, I'm not 100% convinced about the Pedro deal. That aside, we'll talk about that one later. But this Kudus deal, just to get this over the line, is going to be fantastic. Now, that brings the question to what happens to Estavo Williams. Where does Estavo Williams play? Because if Mohammed Kudus comes to Chelsea, he's going to probably play on the right wing. Now, he's going to play with Estavo Williams, you know, João Pedro and Kopama can actually play one wing. That's the number 10 role. While on the left wing, we have Gittins and Pedro Neto at that left wing. Then Tyreek George can also play in bit parts of the season, or he might actually be loaned out. Chelsea are competing for the Champions League, the FA Cup, the Premier League. There are going to be so many games. That's for a fact. There's going to be so many games. Players are going to have opportunity to play. Players are going to have their own time to showcase what they are actually worth and what they want to do. So, like I said earlier, this is going to be a very good deal. But how can this deal be materialized? How can this deal get over the line? Because a player like Kudus costs a whole lot. Yes, because to me, I think it will cost more than a 60 million because of how good he is going forward. Now, do Chelsea actually have that cash now to splash? Because after signing, because Gittins and João Pedro cost over 150 million already. So what happens to Kudus? Where do Chelsea get the cash for Kudus? Because right now Chelsea have not made any sales at all. Noni Madueke is still in there. You know, other players are still in there. Nkunku is still in there. You know, so many players that even went on loan last season are back. They are in. You know, the disaster and the rest. Chelsea are going to make so many sales this summer. Sterling is going to go. You know, Ben Chilwell is going to go. Disasi is going to go. So many players. Renato Vega might leave. João Pedro will go. So many players might also leave Chelsea. Yes, there are going to be money coming in at the end of the day. But let's not forget that this Club World Cup is also racking in a whole lot of money for Chelsea. Now, according to Kieran Gill, he said, Chelsea have looked at the possibility of sending players to Westham in return for Mohammed Kudus. But sources in London Stadium says that they are not interested in potential trades and have been brushed so far. Chelsea want to do a player swap deal in the sense that you give me Kudus, I give you Juice Biol and Sanchez, and I probably top it up with a little bit of cash. But the fact is that West Ham are not interested. West Ham want that cash to reinvest in the proper player they want for their squad. You know, they are being coached by the former Chelsea coach, which is Potter, who actually coached Brighton as well. So Kudus is one of the best players in West Ham. So for them to lose their player, their best player, they need a guaranteed cash to spend at where, you know, in the particular spot where they need it. So let's see how that goes. Let's see how that materializes. If he comes to Chelsea, it's going to be a fantastic signing for me. I'm going to be so happy if he actually comes to Chelsea, you know, and hit the ground running immediately, because this is the kind of player we need. This is the kind of upgrade we need at Stamford Bridge. Now let's move to another story concerning this whole squad depth and everything, because Chelsea are still interested in more players and what happens to Nicholas Jackson at this point. Now let's take a look at this on your screen. According to Sky Sports, it said these are the kind of players Chelsea have right now in attack. You know, for the right wing, Chelsea have Gittins, George, Modric and Sterling. That's on the left wing rather. Gittins, George, Modric and Sterling. We all know Modric is banned and he will not be playing for Chelsea in a very, very long time. So that's off. Sterling, it will be sold, obviously. So Chelsea remains with Gittins and George on the left wing. So which is okay. Alright. Then on the right wing, Chelsea have Pedro Neto, Noni Madueke, Felix, and Estaval. At this point, Neto's space is guaranteed. At this point, Estaval, which is coming in, is guaranteed. So Chelsea have two proper wingers there. Now, Felix will be sold, obviously. That leaves the space of Noni Madueke hanging, because at this point, Chelsea is expecting over a 50 million offer for him and he will be sold. Newcastle and Arsenal are interested at this point. Then for the strikers, what happens at the striking position? Chelsea have 5 strikers currently. Delap, Jackson, Pedro Neto, McGill, and Broja. Now, Broja will be sold. McGill will be loaned out, obviously. Then Chelsea have 3 strikers. Delap, Jackson, and Pedro Neto. And João Pedro, rather. Delap guaranteed spots, is just coming in. João Pedro guaranteed spots, is less than 24 hours as a Chelsea player. Then it leaves the future of Jackson hanging. At this point, what do you think as a fan? Do you think Chelsea should keep Jackson? Do you think Chelsea should loan him out or let him play on the wings or something? Let me know and share your thoughts in the comments. To me, I think Jackson should be kept. I think the competition with Jackson and Delap will cook something very, very significant and important in the Chelsea squad going into next season. Where you have Delap, where you have Jackson, where you have João Pedro inching to play, I think it's going to be a very, very important, competition, you know, for Chelsea going forward. Then for the attacking positions, that's the attacking midfield. Fernandes can play in the number 10 role, but we know it's preferred in the number 8 role. We have Palmer, we have Nkunku and Chukwuemeka. Chukwuemeka will be gone. He will be sold or loaned out. Nkunku will be sold, obviously. So we have Palmer and Fernandes. Now, due to the fact that Fernandes loves to play in the number 8 position, I would prefer to keep Fernandes in the number 8 position, while we have Palmer left. So having Palmer left simply means that he will be played, you know, alongside João Pedro. Palmer and João Pedro, one of them will start. Then, which leaves Jackson and Delap in the number 9 position. To me, I want both of them to be in that number 9 position. To me, I want 2 of them to actually hold that number 9 position, push yourself to the, you know, to the brim, and let's say, you know, what happens, you know, towards the, you know, towards the course of the season. So that's what I think, you know, and let's see what happens. Now, this is a tweet from Fabrizio. He said 4 additions to the attacking department are said to be added for the upcoming season. All these sealed. Gittins from Borussia Dortmund, Esteve Williams from Palmeiras, João Pedro from Brighton, Liam Delap from Ipswich. Let's not forget, Giovanni Kenda is coming for next season. So next season is going to be another reshuffle in the Chelsea's attack. But let's see how that goes. I don't want to waste too much time on that. Now, we had a sad news coming in today concerning a former Chelsea youth player, Charlie Mosunda, who announced his retirement at the age of 28. the thing is that when players like this get injuries, they actually have a tell on their, their careers. They give them physical and mental issues at that point. So to me, I think this is a sad one. He had so much talent that he could have, utilized. One of the reasons why Hazard actually retired early at Real Madrid, injuries upon injuries. These players are not robots. These players they have families, most times they have mental issues because of these injury problems. He had knee injury for over 3 years, and that's actually tell on him physically. Right now he says he wants to help young players, but retiring at 28 years old, it's sad. I wish he would have done better. I wish the injuries were not did not come. I wish he had a very smooth career, but it's a sad one for him. I wish him the best, and let's see his next part towards his career. But tell me what you think about this whole topic. João Pedro, Mohammed Kudus, Noni Madueke, Charlie Mosunda. Tell me what you think about all of this and the Chelsea's depth in squad. Let me know what you think. Until I come away again next time, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, very, very important, and share your thoughts in the comments. Until I come away again next time, I remain your boy Mike Way. Stay cool. Cheers.